So hello, everyone. Welcome to Vanessa Johnson's storytelling performance. We're about to let her begin very soon. Thank you for coming. We're really excited to have her, and she's got a lot of stories lined up for us. But I also wanted to mention that she is teaching 2 weeks of art camp at the Schweinfurth this summer, and that can be found on our website as well as our other art camps for children and teenagers. So if you're interested in learning more or getting more information from Vanessa, you can check that out on our website. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Vanessa so that she can begin. Thank you, Vanessa.
Well, good morning. Happy Juneteenth. And this celebration, Oh Freedom, is in celebration of Juneteenth. I am a griot, a storyteller in the West African style of storytelling. And griots in Africa travel around their region and they collect the stories. They collect all your business. And they keep the history and the stories of who is doing what and what should be remembered through time. And that's what I do with my stories. I tell stories from around the world, from different cultures, from African American culture, and from the US and our history as a people, all of us, this great mix of people, all of us together. So let's start with that Juneteenth is about the day slavery ended in the United States of America, for the last people, the last state to hear that they had to let their slaves be free. So I thought I'd start off where the Schweinfurth is in Auburn, New York, where a famous woman on the Underground Railroad, Harriet Tubman, a conductor that led people to freedom, that spied for the US Army during the Civil War, and who rescued, we know, something like 19 trips, rescued 70-something people, but also rescued up to 700 people during the Civil War with the aid of the Union Army. So Harriet Tubman. Last night I dreamed I was in slavery. About 1850 was the time. Sorrow was the only sign, and nothing about to ease my mind. Out of the dark appeared a lady leading a distant pilgrim band. First mate, she said, pointing her hand, make room aboard for this young woman. She said, come on up, I got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. Come on up, I got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. She said her name was Harriet Tubman, and she drove for the Underground Railroad. Hundreds of miles, we traveled onward, gathering slaves from town to town, seeking all the lost and found, and setting those free who once were bound. Sometimes my heart was growing weaker. I fell by the wayside, sinking sand. So firmly did that woman stand. She lifted me up and she took my hand. She said, come on out, I got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. Come on up, I got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. She said her name was Harriet Tubman, and she drove for the Underground Railroad. So we know the Underground Railroad wasn't a train under the ground. It was a secret. Shh, don't tell. It was a secret group of people across the United States, Black and white, Asian, Mexican, Native Americans, people who had come from this other parts of the world to live in the United States, that said slavery was wrong. And they helped to hide people and get them through northern states like upstate New York, right up into Canada, where they had no slavery and they could be free. And it took a civil war, finally, to end slavery in the United States. The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with a proclamation from the executive of the United States, President Lincoln. All slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality and personal rights and right of property between former masters and former slaves. And the connection here unto will be equal. It will be employer to hired laborers. You have to pay them for their work. This order, when the troops from the Union from the North landed in Galveston, Texas, let the final group of people who were not freed in Texas free. They were finally free. But if we go back in our history as early as 1619, before the American Revolution, the first enslaved Africans were brought to the United States shores. And they came with their stories. They came with their stories. And their stories in raising their own children and in their own society were stories about equality, about freedom, about treating each other right, not bullying folks, befriending those who needed help. And so I thought I would tell some of the stories that were brought over on those slave ships as early as 1619 to the shores of America. Let's hear some of those tales. Now, some of these stories, I need your help. I'm going to need you to help me tell. And some of them I would tell by myself. And you'll get a chance to comment and ask questions. This story is from Botswana. Botswana is one of the 50-something countries that are on the continent of Africa, each having their own languages. In fact, I go to Ghana every summer. Over 50 languages are spoken there. Can you imagine? So this one is from Botswana. It is called The Thing Greater Than the Lion. Rabbit was really mad. See, the lion said, every Friday, you got to bring a basket of food to my palace, and you have to lay it before my feet and bow down with respect. The rabbit thought, I work all week collecting carrots and vegetables just to feed me and my family. How is he just going to take my food? This is not right. But the lion was scary. He was, first of all, king of the jungle. So who was the rabbit to tell him what to do? And he had those claws and those teeth and that roar. Arr! He was a big bully. And the rabbit, well, he just had a little nose that twitched and big ears. He didn't have claws. He didn't have a loud roar. So how was he going to tell the lion not to do this? Don't bully all the animals. They work hard for their food. And he thought about it, and he thought about it. And he came up with an idea. He went back in the jungle, way back, and he built something. Shh, I'm not going to tell you yet. And then on Friday, he went to the palace like all the other animals did. And he stood in line with an attitude. And one by one, the animals, they came forward and they brought the lion their baskets of food. But when it was the rabbit's turn, he just stood there. And lion said, where's my food? Rabbit said, I don't have no food for you. That food is for my family. I'm not giving you my food. The lion said, what do you mean? I am the king of the jungle. You're not giving me the food I asked for? No, you ain't all that. The lion said, what do you mean I'm not all that? You're not all that, said the rabbit. I know someone who's greater than you. The lion was shocked. Someone greater than me? There's no one greater than me. I am the king of the jungle. Roar! The rabbit stood there. I'm not scared of you. I know something that is greater than you. And so I'm not giving you my food. The lion said, I want to see the thing that is greater than me. You take me to him and I will eat him all up. and then I will eat you too. The rabbit said, you are not greater than that. And anyway, I'm not going to bring him here. You got to go and see him. He's greater than you. Take me to him, said the lion. Take me to him now. Okay, let's go. And the rabbit hopped out of the palace with the lion following right behind him. They went way back into the jungle. And there was a really tall hut, a very strong hut that the rabbit had built just for this. The lion said, bring out the one who thinks he's greater than me. And the rabbit said, he's inside. He's greater than you. He ain't coming outside. And the lion said, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to eat that thing. And when I come out, I'm going to get you too. You can run, but you can't hide from me. And the lion went inside the hut. The minute he went inside, the rabbit took a key out of his pocket, hopped over to the door of the hut and locked it. Click. When the lion heard the click, he started beating on the door. Let me out! You've locked me in! Let me out! Let me out! But the rabbit said, no, I'm not letting you out till you see the thing that is greater than you. The lion looked around. There's no one in here but me. What are you talking about? Let me out, rabbit. Let me out now. No, I think you need to see the thing that's greater than you. I'll see you later tonight. Bye. Oh, the lion was so mad. He went crazy inside that hut. He started beating on the door. Boom, 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 boom. He started jumping, trying to get out the roof, but it was too tall. And he tried to dig. Ow! But he broke a nail or two. The floor was made out of concrete. And a couple of hours went by. And in the night, the rabbit hopped back to the hut. He put his ear up against the door and he said, Lion, are you in there? And the lion said, roar! Of course I'm in here. You've locked me in here. Have you seen the thing that's greater than you? The lion said, there's no one in here but me. Let me out and maybe I won't eat you. Let me out now. The rabbit said, I'll come back in a couple of days. By then you'll see the thing that's greater than you. No, said the lion. Let me out. Boom, 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 boom. Let me out. And the rabbit hopped away. A day went by. Another day went by. On the third day, the rabbit went back out into the jungle. He put his ear up against the door. Lion, are you in there? The lion didn't answer. He asked again. Lion, are you in there? He thought he heard a little bit of sound. So he took the key out of his pocket and he opened the door. And there inside the hut, the lion laid on the floor. He was breathing heavy. Rabbit, I'm so hungry. Please, do you have something to eat? And the rabbit pulled an orange out of his pocket. He gave it to the lion, and the lion swallowed the whole thing, peels and all. Do you have anything else? And the rabbit pulled out a banana, and again, the lion ate it with all the peels on. And the rabbit said, I see you've met the thing that is greater than you. The lion said, there's been nobody here but me. And the rabbit said, but of course you've met the thing greater than you. Hunger is greater than the lion. You see, we all get hungry. We all need food and water. We are all living things. We are the same. No one is greater he helped the lion up off the floor. And the lion said, I have been so wrong. Help me back to the village, please. And the rabbit walked him all the way back to the village. The lion went into his palace and got on his throne and he said, hear ye, hear ye. Every Friday, everyone will bring a basket of food. The rabbit thought, oh my goodness, he's learned nothing. You will bring the food to me. And every Friday, we will have a village party. We will share our food, even me. The rabbit smiled. He was not as strong as the lion. He didn't have claws like the lion, and he certainly didn't have that big mouth roar. But he used his mind, and he was able to teach the lion not to be a bully. The story from Botswana, Africa, the thing greater than the lion. So if you want to turn on your mics, I love applause. I love a little applause. So what do you guys think? What did you learn? Melissa, what did you hear in this story? What did you learn from this story?
I learned not to be a bully.
Not to be a bully. We're all the same. We don't have to bully someone because they're short or tall. Or when I was in school, if you had braces, nowadays you guys love having braces with all the color rubber bands and the invisible braces and stuff. You were made fun of when I was a kid. If you had you were called four eyes if you had glasses on. And nowadays you guys love different colored glasses and stuff. So times have changed. But sometimes we do make fun of people because they look different than us. They're a different color. They have a different religion. They have a different ethnicity. Maybe they're from a different country. So the lion and the rabbit teaches us to be kind to everybody. So this story, I need some help telling. So I want everybody to hold out a hand and to pretend that you have a baby eagle in your hand. Just a little baby eagle. Don't hold him too tight. Don't squish him. And we're going to fuss at the eagle a little bit. Don't yell. We're going to say, you are not a chicken. Can everybody say that? You are not a chicken. Yeah, you can turn on your mics. And then we're going to tell the baby eagle what it is. We're going to say, you are, and then use your eagle wings, an eagle. All right. So let's try it all together. You are not a chicken. You are an eagle. So when it comes to that place in the story, help me out. Don't leave me out there by myself trying to do it. Help me tell the story of the eagle who thought he was a chicken. This is an African-American story. It has been told around the world, and it's one of my favorite stories. This story starts once upon a time because, well, I really love stories that start once upon a time. Once upon a time, there was a farmer in Africa. He had a big farm. He had chickens in the chicken coop. He had goats with long, furry beards. He had sheep that he loved to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he had corn that stood in the field, just standing tall, and wheat that waved in the wind. He was a good farmer, and he took good care of his land, and he took good care of his animals. Every morning, he would get up and he would wash his face and brush his teeth and get ready for the day. And he would start by counting his sheep because, well, they were counting sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But one morning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One of the sheep were missing. He looked everywhere for it. He went and looked in the chicken coop. It wasn't in there. He looked around the house. It wasn't there. He went out into the field where the dancing wheat was and where the corn stood tall. And that sheep was not there. And so he decided to walk through the forest that surrounded his house. And he looked behind every tree, but the sheep wasn't there. And then he had an idea. There was a mountain nearby. He would climb to the top of the mountain, look around, and he would find his sheep. And so he did. He climbed all the way to the top of the mountain. Hello. And he looked around, but there was no sheep there. And as he started to climb down the mountain, all sad, he heard a sound. He had never heard that sound before. What was it? And he looked down in a crevice, a crack in the side of the mountain, a crevice, and he saw a baby eagle. So he reached down in the crevice and he pulled out the eagle. He looked around. There was no nest around. There was no mommy, no dad. He found no sisters or brothers. Could he just leave him up there? Would you leave him there alone? No, he couldn't leave him. So he put him in his pocket and he went home. He showed his wife the little baby eagle. Look what I found. And she was not happy. No. We've got goats. We've got sheep. We've got chickens. I got to sell our vegetables down by the road and our fruit. I don't have time to take care of no baby eagle. No. And the farmer said, but he just can't let, no. And farmer knew he had to go out in the field and work too. And then he came up with an idea. Eagles have feathers, right? Yeah. Chickens have feathers, right? He would put the baby eagle in the chicken coop and the chickens would help him with the baby eagle. And that's what he did. The chickens took a look at the eagle and they started talking amongst themselves. But they decided he could stay. And so everybody was happy. Everybody. And the farmer found that baby sheep. It was underneath the house sleep. Everything was wonderful until the next day when the farmer's brother came to visit. Now, the farmer's brother lived down the road and he loved his brother that was a farmer. And the farmer loved his brother too. And he took him all over and he showed him the wheat dancing in the wind. He showed him the corn standing tall and the goats with their hairy beards. And he showed him the sheep and he showed him the chickens in the chicken coop. And there was the baby eagle. That baby eagle was walking like a chicken, talking like a chicken, and eating corn off the ground, just like a chicken. He was a chicken. And the brother said, what's that? And the farmer laughed. That's my baby eagle chicken. He thinks he's a chicken. That's not funny. The brother said, he should know who he is. Why don't you teach him to be an eagle? Look. I don't have time for that, the farmer said. I got to work my fields. Everybody's happy, the little eagle happy. And the brother kind of shut his mouth. But when the farmer went out into the field to do his work, the brother had a different idea. He went into the chicken coop and grabbed the little baby eagle and he brought a chair out into the yard. And he held the little eagle in his hand. Help me out here. And he said to him, you are not a chicken. You are an eagle. And eagles were meant to fly high above the trees, high above the land, and bow their heads and greet the sun every morning. He said it to him one more time. Tell your little eagle, you are not a chicken. And then he got up on the chair, stood there, and threw the baby eagle into the air. And what do you think happened? Did the eagle fly or did he fall? What do you guys think? That eagle fell. Boom! He hit the ground. Oh, he started crying. ah! The farmer came running in from the field. He had his rake in his hand. What's going on? What's going on? And the wife, she came running up from the road where she was selling the vegetables. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! And they saw the eagle on the ground. They saw the chair there, and the farmer got mad. What are you doing to my eagle? And the brother said, I was just trying to teach him who he was, teach him how to fly. You're going to kill my eagle. He can't fly. He thinks he's a chicken. Leave it alone. And so he told the brother to go home, and the brother left. And the farmer picked up the eagle. He was okay, and he put him back with the chickens. And he continued to walk like a chicken, talk like a chicken, and eat corn off the ground just like a chicken. But the farmer's brother who had gone home talked to his wife. Baby, he's got this eagle who doesn't know who he is. It's got me so upset. He should know who he is. And his wife said, look, you need to mind your own business. That's not your farm. Leave it alone. But the brother couldn't leave it alone. The next day he went back to his brother's farm and he apologized. I didn't want to hurt anything. And the farmer's brother forgave him and gave him a hug. And he said, look, I'm going to go get some food, some vegetables, so my wife can cook us a beautiful lunch. And the wife said, oh yeah, it's a great day for me to cook you a lunch. And she went inside the house. The minute she was inside, and the farmer had left, the brother ran into the chicken coop, grabbed the little baby eagle again. And this time he saw a ladder and he put it up against the house. He climbed up the ladder, stood at the very top of the house, and he held the eagle in his hand and he said, help me out, guys. You are not a chicken. You are an eagle. And eagles were meant to fly high above the trees, high above this house, and bow its head and greet the sun every morning. He said it to him one more time. Help me out. You are not a chicken. And he threw the eagle up in the air off the house. And what do you think happened this time? Did the eagle fly this time? What do you guys think? Let me show you what happened this time. That little eagle fell. Boom! He hit the ground. He started crying even louder in sounds. The farmer came running in from the field, his fist up. Who's hurting who? Who's on my farm? And the wife, she came running out of the kitchen with a frying pan in her hand. Ah! And they saw the eagle on the ground, and they saw the ladder up against the house. And the farmer was so mad he couldn't even talk to his brother. He just pointed him down the road. The brother said, but I and he went home. The eagle was okay, and he was put in back with his chicken family, and he continued to walk like a chicken, talk like a chicken, and eat corn off the ground just like a chicken. But the farmer's brother could not sleep. He tossed and turned all night. And in the middle of the night, he got out of bed. He went in the kitchen and he grabbed a burlap bag. He put it over his shoulder and walked down to his farmer brother's house. He could hear them snoring inside. And he snuck into the chicken coop, grabbed the chicken, the little eagle, threw him in the bag, and walked all the way through the forest to the mountain where the eagle had been found. He climbed all the way to the top of the mountain, and he put the bag in his lap and sat on the end of a cliff. And all night long, he told the eagle who he really was, that he was an eagle. Eagles don't eat corn off the ground. That's fine for chickens. They swoop through the air and they catch their prey. He talked about how the eagle was the symbol of many great nations, like the United States. The bald eagle was their bird. He talked about the majesty of flying and greeting the sun every morning. He told the eagle that he was not a chicken. And when the sun began to come up over the edge of the land, he stood up on the edge of that cliff. He pulled the eagle out of the bag and he put it in his hand. and he said, help me out. You are not a chicken. You are an eagle. And eagles were meant to fly high above this mountain, high into the sky, and bow their heads and greet the sun. He told them one more time, you are not a chicken. And he took the eagle and threw him up in the air off the side of the mountain. And what do you think happened this time? This time, did he fly or did he fall? What do you guys think? You think he fell, Melissa? Oh, he started falling down the side of that mountain, and he was twirling round and round and round in the air. The brother looked over the edge and he said, oh my goodness, what have I done? I've killed the little eagle. I should have minded my own business. The eagle spun round and round and round as he fell. And then, he opened one wing. Oh, that wind felt so good rushing through his feathers, so he opened the other one. He started flapping his wings in the air and started rising higher and higher and higher. The brother had turned around. He didn't want to see what he had done. And he felt a whoosh by his face as the eagle rose into the sky. He turned around and followed him with his eyes. Oh my goodness, look at you, you can fly. And the eagle rose higher and higher and higher. And when the sun came up, he bowed his head in greeting because there was something he now knew. He was not a chicken. He was an eagle. Thank you. So, are there times when someone makes you feel like you're not who you're supposed to be? Or you say, oh, I want to be a writer, and somebody says, you're not a writer. Where other people tell you what to be. Or they don't praise you when you do something great. Look, I drew this picture. You're not an artist. This eagle who thought he was a chicken teaches us to make sure that our children and our friends know who they are. Praise them for the things they do well and teach them the things that they need to know. Chickens are wonderful. Eagles are wonderful. You can be different and just great the way you are. The eagle who thought he was a chicken. All right. So this story, let me check my time. I get into these stories and I could tell forever. I'm a storyteller. This story is called Osibo's Drum. Osibo means leopard in Twi. And we have the lion, Gayata, and the elephant, Nante. Osibo, the leopard, was selfish. He was the best drum player in the land. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody loved his playing, but he did not like playing for anybody. He kept his drumming to himself. He would not play for other people. He lived way out in the jungle where no one in the village could hear his drumming. One day, Niame came down from the sky. He was sad. His grandmother had passed away and had gone to heaven. Niame said, I want to give a party in remembrance of my grandmother. Will you help me? And all the animals in the village said, yes, we can have a big party. We will have food and a lovely fire. We will share our songs and our music. And one of the animals, the giraffe, said, we should have Osibo come and play his drum. Gayata, the lion, said, Osibo is so selfish. He will not come and play his drum. You know what? I'm going to go out to his house and I'm going to go and make Osibo, come and play that drum. I'm going to make that leopard come and stop being selfish. So Gayata the lion walked all the way out into the jungle to Osibo's home. He could hear drumming as he got closer and closer. Boom, 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 boom. But when the leopard saw the lion, he stopped playing. Gayata said, Osibo, we are giving a party in the memory of Niame, the sky god's grandmother. Will you please come and play your drum? And Osibo said, I don't play my drum for anybody but me, no. And Gayata the lion said, but Osibo, it's a celebration, we need you. I said, no, I am not coming. And Gayata said, I will make you come. And he rushed over to try to stop Osibo and to grab him, but Osibo was quick. That leopard was quick. He jumped inside his house and locked the door. Go away, Gayata. I will not come. And Gayata had to go all the way back to the village without Osibo. He won't come, said the lion. He just won't come. Nanti the elephant stood there swinging her trunk. I will go and talk to Osibo. Osibo will come for me. And Nanti went all the way out into the edge of the forest where Osibo lived. She could hear him drumming. Dun, 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 dun. But when Osibo saw her, he stopped drumming. What do you want? And Nanti said, I just want you to come and play your drum. You're playing it anyway. Play it at the party for Naomi, the sky god's grandmother's remembrance. No, I don't play my drum for anyone but me. Go away, Nanti. I am bigger than you. I am older than you. Don't make me grab you with my trunk. The leopard jumped on top of his house. Now try to get me. And Nanti could not reach that far. She walked all the way back to the village. He won't come. He won't come for me. Animal after animal after animal tried to get Osibo to come and play his drum. But Osibo remained selfish. He would not play his drum for the party. Finally, the last animal, Akikigi, the turtle, said, I will go and get Osibo. Everybody laughed. Look how little you are. The lion couldn't get him. The giraffe, the elephant, the quick zebra, and the snake that can wrap himself around anything. Nobody could get him. You can't get him. You're too little. And Akikigi said, let me try. And he slowly walked all the way out to the jungle's edge where Osibo lived. Osibo stopped playing his drum when he saw Akikigi. I've already told everybody I am not coming. And Akikigi said, I didn't come here to make you pay your drum. I just wanted to see how big it was. Yeah, it's not so big. Osibo said, excuse me? Your drum isn't that big. We're going to invite somebody from another village. Their big drum is bigger and it makes more sound. Osibo said, I am the best drummer around. And Akikigi said, yeah, but we're going to get somebody else. Bye. And Osibo said, my drum is big. What are you talking about? You can't even get inside it. That drum in the other village is so big, I and the drummer and the elephant can get inside. Oh, please, let me show you. And Osibo crawled inside his drum. Akikigi, the turtle, said, I can still see your tail. It's not big enough. And Osibo pulled his tail inside the drum. See, I can get inside my drum. I have the biggest drum. Akikigi had slowly walked over to where Osibo had his cooking pot. And he grabbed the top of the pot. And while Osibo was talking inside his drum, he slowly crawled to the drum and stuck the pot over the hole, trapping Osibo inside. Osibo said, whoa, what's going on here? And Akikigi says, I'm taking you to the village. and he flipped the drum on his back, and he slowly, slowly, slowly crawled to the village. Once he was at the village, he flipped the drum over, and out came tumbling Osibo. The animals were like, "Oh, how did you do that?" And Osibo looked really shamed. Here he was in front of everybody now, including Niame, the sky god. "I've come to play my drum." And Osibo played his drum for everybody that night. Boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom. There was dancing and eating and singing, and there was dancing to the drum beat of Osibo's drum. Osibo and his drum, a story from Western Africa. Thank you. So what do we learn from this story? What's the idea of the story? What are people trying to teach their children in telling this story? Should we be selfish with our talents? If we know how to do something, should we share it? Should we share our voices, our singing, our stories, our dancing, our music? African stories taught their children how to have a good society, how to be kind to each other. And certainly this day of Juneteenth is about freedom and kindness and love. I see Melissa's got share our gifts with others. That you are so right, Melissa. So today we share the gift across the United States for freedom, of freedom. Some people are saying, well, it's just for Black people. This is a Black people, holiday. This is a holiday for all Americans that enjoy and love freedom. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. If anyone wants to see more of Vanessa's work, you can also go to her website to keep up with her and her performances, and check out our website for Art Camp. And thank you so much, Vanessa. We really enjoyed having you today.